Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about winter prep for warmer climates. So if you're gardening in a warmer climate, it is the perfect time to begin winter prep while the ground is still warm. Now if you've already received your first frost, there is still likely something we will go over that you will find beneficial. So if you want to take steps right now to ensure a beautiful, healthy garden next year, with a significant reduction in pest issues and plant diseases in the garden, stay tuned. And at the end of this video, we will post a simple guide for adding the products mentioned to decrease fungus, diseases, and pests in your gardens. So we will just get right into this. We will be discussing what to do with specific plants, etc. But we first must address soil prep because it is of the utmost importance. Having the proper soil for the plants you grow will lead to the best plants and the most beautiful garden. So, what should you be doing now? Well, it's not too late to top dress with a thin layer, so about a quarter-inch thick, of aged compost. Aged compost is loaded with beneficial microbes, fungi, and organic matter. You can also throw some worm castings into the mix to feed microbes that attack pest eggs. And if your trees have lost leaves, if those are healthy leaves, let them be. They're great mulch and they provide cover for beneficial insects that will be overwintering in your soil. But of course, clean up the debris, especially diseased leaves. And speaking of diseases, it's a great time to get ahead of those bugs and diseases that will be returning if you don't act now. So, one thing that you can do, an organic method of dealing with bugs and pests, is to add beneficial nematodes. You can do this if your soil is still warm. Now, a way that you can determine that is take your highs and lows, add it together, divide it by 2, and that's going to give you a good idea of what your soil temperatures are. And you also want to, make sure you water them in and kind of keep the soil moist for a little while after you add them. Now, if you have not had your first frost, you can still spray neem oil. So if your temperatures are below 85, you can spray it on your roses, your fruit trees, your woody ornamentals. And then what we actually use is Captain Jack's Neem Max oil. You can apply it to a variety of plants in your lawn and garden, including vegetables, fruit trees, nuts, vines, citrus, ornamentals, flowers, shrubs, grasses. There's a full list of plants that you can use this Captain Jack's Neem Max oil on. Now, it's going to control listed insects, including aphids, beetles, stink bugs, caterpillars, spider mites, and so many more. It also will prevent and control diseases like powdery mildew, stem mildew, and even more. So, this is something that can be used right now as well. Also, if your ground has not frozen, you can put diatomaceous earth around the base of perennial grades. You just want to make sure you get food grade diatomaceous earth. Um, so once you have laid down your compost and you've done your spraying, then you want to go in and mulch your beds, just to make sure that you maintain the levels that you need in your garden to keep your soil temperatures kind of regulated. Because the soil here in our garden is acidic, we tend to use pine bark mulch because that is a mulch that will help to decrease the alkalinity levels of the soil over time as it breaks down. But by doing all of these different things, so getting the compost or the worm castings down, diatomaceous earth, spraying with Captain Jack's neem oil, you top with the mulch, you should see a significant reduction in insects and disease problems. Okay, moving on to plants. So, I'm going to talk about perennials. Perennials typically fall into 2 categories. We have herbaceous perennials and we have the woody perennials. Your herbaceous perennials are things like your meadow sage and salvia nemorosa. And basically, if you look at the stem, it I like to say it kind of reminds me of something you see in the vegetable section at the grocery store. But what happens with these perennials when you get your hard frost, they just they faint, they die back. And so when you see that happen, you can just go in and cut them back um, to the ground, and then they will come back the following year because that's what perennials do. They return year after year. Now, in contrast, things like butterfly bushes and caryopteris, for example, they are woody perennials. They come back year after year, but you don't want to cut those back. Okay. They will start leafing out in the spring and they will show you exactly where you need to cut them. So you're going to want to just kind of let them be. Also, keep in mind things like hydrangeas, some of them bloom on old growth. So if you cut them back now, you're going to be eliminating your spring blooms. Now, another important thing that you're going to want to do is be watching the forecast to see when the first hard frost is on its way, because you want to make sure that, tender perennials or shrubs or trees, whatever you have in your garden, you want to make sure that you go out and you cover them with something before that frost hits. We like to use burlap. Some people suggest that you shouldn't use some of the fabric because it doesn't breathe properly when you cover the plants with it, and it's not the best for your plants. The burlap has little holes, and so you're not smothering it, I guess, for lack of, I don't know the scientific term for it, but I've never read anything where people say don't use burlap. But there are groups of people that have said don't put the plastic bags and things like that. And some of these plastic bags, I'm not talking about grocery bags. I'm talking about the bags that you can buy at big box stores that may actually be made of plastic. Some people advise against using those. So we've always used burlap and we've always had good luck with burlap. Now, we don't do any major zone pushing. This garden is zone 8B. I grow Daniela flax lily, that's zone 9. Sometimes your temperatures can dip beneath what your actual zone is for a day, for a few hours, and some of those plants can be harmed by that. So just be on the lookout, be watching the forecast, and have everything ahead of time. About 3 years ago, we weren't paying attention to the weather forecast, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's going to get cold. It's going to get cold. Well, everybody knew that already, and many of the stores did not have the products that we wanted to use. So buy those ahead of time, have them ready. Okay, so that is it. First, take care of your soil. Second, prevent bugs, diseases, fungus, etc. Mulch your gardens and make sure that you cut your plants back when they should be cut back and protect them from the cold temperatures. I appreciate you watching this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. And that's about it. I hope you have a great day in your gardens. Bye.